Lately, life's felt a bit heavy. The universe is throwing me some curveballs at the minute. And honestly, I've been moping around, not being very productive. I wasn't really sure what I was going to make this week, but instead of pretending to be fine, I'm going to start from that place, from the sadness, and see what it sounds like. But here's the twist. We're not staying there. The idea is to take that first melancholic sketch and use it as a springboard to flip it and transform it into something brighter. Maybe that's a bit naive, but I like to think of it as a metaphor, how sometimes we just need to put one creative foot in front of the other, even when things aren't going so well. Action can have a way of leading us back to ourselves. That's the plan anyway. If this video ends up being 2 minutes long, you'll know that I gave up halfway through. Hopefully not. Let's get on with it.
To kick things off, let's get some chords down. These patches are made with the PlayStation pads in mind at the end of last week's episode, and they're available at the Patreon. I really like that. It's got that kind of liminal ambient sound. It's very hollow. I think if I tie LFO 3 here with this quick, almost square wave pattern to the octave of oscillator 2, we'll get this tremolo adjacent twinkle on top. I want some bubbly melodics on top too, actually. Nothing too busy. I'll let the effects wash over it for the most part. To get that bubbly, floaty effect, what I've been doing to kind of replicate that Chase Bliss sound is add a grain delay. Make sure that that spray and pitch is up and the feedback and dry wet is at about 50%. Add an EQ8. That takes away some of the clicking, and then a hybrid reverb too. We can put this in a effects rack and then use the chain as a dry wet to go from the initial frequency that we heard to this at the end. What I want to do now is use these chords through some kind of rhythmic gate, I think. And I'm going to test something real quick here in Ableton with a loop. And if it works, I'll try to recreate it on a proper kit. My idea is that if we can take these chords and sidechain it to a resonator, we could have the drums play the melodic MIDI elements, whilst a loop can take care of our rhythm section. For more control with the live drums, it should go gate, resonator, and then perhaps a reverb. Fabulous. I'm getting excited. So now in the real world, I've actually chopped those chords and mapped them to the first 4 rows of the pads on the MPD here. And you can see that correlated on the screen. The rows above are playing those same chords coupled with a respace. That respace is playing the lowest note of those chords. I also have a drum loop and an open hi-hat. On track A, I've mapped each of these faders to my sends, the delay on this fader and the reverb on this fader. I'm feeling good about this, but let's see what I come up with. If you enjoyed the vibe at the start of this episode, you'll probably dig some of my tracks like Sonder, Infinite in All Directions, and If I Could Be Gentle. They're in a similar kind of vibe, and I released them all with today's sponsor, DistroKid. There's a ton of tools to promote myself and get playlisted. I can even claim my music platforms through DistroKid and enhance my music with credits and lyric information too. Don't forget, there's links in the description to grab your discount as always.
That was super fun and really did shake me out of my funk a little bit. So I'm glad my theory was correct. We can kind of recognize that we're in the weeds of depression a little bit, but choose action to actively pull ourselves from it. And look, we created 2 ideas that could possibly be different tracks. We've achieved a lot today, and hopefully it's given you a little bit of inspiration too. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying my best to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Thanks as always for swinging by, and I'll see you next time.